Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Now, we still in this same series of the male perspective, talking to the woman, the ready woman. Now listen, you know, if you know you broken, if you know you bitter, if you know you angry with men, this is not for you. This is not for you. I'm not arguing and going back and forth in the comments with those type of women. I'm telling you what I am observing as a healthy, whole, happy man with the issues of the women who are under spiritual warfare, because the adversary is not just attacking men, and we're addressing the men's issues too. I got a whole nother series that's addressing the men's issues. So for the women that it go both ways, talk to the men too, we got that covered. You'll see those videos as well. But this one right here, this series is for the women. Listen to me. There is a Jezebel woman epidemic. There is a very disgusting spirit that is circulating through women, and it is starting to permeate good women, healthy and whole women. Now, this spirit, not in the literal sense of the Holy Bible, but what I mean is a sneaky, conniving, greedy, disrespectful, selfish spirit is rising up in women. And this is a spirit of, I want everything from a man. I want to be a housewife. I want him to invest in my business. I want him to eat me out. I want him to shop on me and surprise me. I want trips around the world. I want all of this. I want a nanny. I want a driver or a chef. I want designer clothes. I want the finest restaurants. And it might not be all together. Now, there are some women that this is all together. This all together. And then there are some women where it's a couple of those coupled in, and the spirit gonna grow from there and operate from there and then get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's becoming almost long lost of the humble woman, the woman who buys into her man's vision because she knows he is a man of God, he is a faithful man, he is a strong man, he is a good man, and so she partners with him. That woman is starting to dwindle, and it's a fine line, because some of those women who say they're doing that, they actually becoming doormats, and you have to understand the difference. Now, a good woman who partners with her man, it doesn't mean that she's a mute. It doesn't mean that she don't speak up and she doesn't say what she thinks and what she feels, but it means that she's not going to argue and go back and forth, and she's going to trust her man unless she absolutely 100% feels without a shadow of a doubt that the move he getting ready to make finna cost them everything. Finna cost them their house, finna cost them their future. And in that moment, she gonna stand all the way down. She gonna put her foot all the way down. And she's going to stand her ground, and she's going to say, listen, you know I love you. You know I respect you. You know I will go with the plan. You know I'm in partnership with you. But the only reason why I'm being so strong on this one is I am positive this is not a good move. Please do not forget all the support I've given you. Please do not think that I am against you. Please understand that when I'm taking this approach, it's because I have already seen and I've been shown what is on the other side of this decision. So I'm asking you, if you love me, if you respect me, to hear me on this. And that is the type of woman and that men need. Not a weak woman, not a docile woman, not a woman who throws her hands up and don't care, not a woman who folds and quits just because a man's energy is strong. Because listen, as men, we are taught to push you to the breaking point. We are taught to get you to the edge, to lean you over that edge, and to see if you're going to be scared. That's how most men are. Good men and bad men. Men are assertive. Men are forward. Men are aggressive. When I was in the world, and I'll be honest with you, I'm going to help you understand something because some of y'all might not understand. When I was in the world, I meet a woman on the first day. Hey, I want me some of that, but just like that. I used to be just like that, and I taught my homeboys that. I said, hey, listen, man, you got to be forward. And one of my other guys who used to get a bunch of women, his was a different level. He's 6'4", muscular, Division I athlete, went to the pros for a couple years. He was the same way. And then we sat down and we talked one day. He was like, yeah, man, women like you to be controlling. And it was what he meant is women like you to be forward. But one thing that we saw is that as that type of man out there in the world, it was so different. Most men were so afraid of women that a woman was like, it wasn't, we can't really call it woman because we was like high school and college. These young ladies, they was like, whoa, okay, all right, well, what's up then? Because it was so different to them for a man to just come up and say what he want and say what he about. And so, although most men are not like that in that arena of the bedroom because of lack of confidence below the belt, the size of their member, they might feel embarrassed or shamed by it, so they might not be forward in that way. But then they're forward and they're assertive and they're aggressive in their business mentality, that go-getter mentality. And so what women do is, because a woman is the weaker vessel physically, a woman will then be the weaker vessel mentally and emotionally. And so the woman will take and just back down. But now what we have is this mutation of a woman, where with this mutation of a woman, we have this woman who is, she out for blood. She a vampire. She a savage. Like, she coming for it all because she done seen the pain, she done seen the hurt. But see, little parts of that spirit is getting into first ladies, meaning the pastor wives, meaning the head of the country wives. Little parts of that spirit is getting into single moms, is getting into stay-at-home moms, it's getting into women with social media, women who are on social media even if they're not using social media. This toxic mindset of get everything you can from a man, it comes from women who were in the sex industry. The root of it is women who have a real Jezebel spirit, a seducing spirit that lures men in and then robs them blind or takes their life. That's the ultimate goal of a Jezebel spirit. And so it's variations of it, because you can't just be chopping men head off now and just sleeping with a man, stealing all his credit cards and then killing him. You can't do that no more. So now you got to stay in the relationship, be in it for the long haul, have your legs open, be fake submissive, but really be siphoning off money, be getting money out that account, and just be getting, a lot of gifts and stuff like this, bags and shoes, and then going and returning a lot of it and putting that money off to the side and then stacking up, and then using this man to run up a bag, spending a year with this man with money and be done embezzled, siphoned off $100K, and then cheating on the man, letting the man find out, and then the man he got to break up now because he can't live with that. But the woman then got her 100,000, depending on the man, 200,000, and you got to look at it as like, because it's because of social media, more men now are starting to get more money. We didn't have a way to make the kind of money that you see like us men online, men with a platform and men with different businesses. Now, because of social media, could get money. Never in the day did we see men off the street join pyramid schemes and actually make money. But today, men are making $100,000 to $500,000 in multi-level marketing, in pyramid schemes. They don't like to call it that, but in these pyramid schemes, it's men who literally were garbage men and went to a meeting, learned about this system, and now making money. So what the Jezebel spirit is doing in the halfway decent women, in the halfway good women, and in the completely totally toxic women is starting to circulate and take over. So if you're a woman and you feel yourself ever coming to say like, man, I want this from a man, that from a man, this from a man, that from a man, and you start to feel a sense of like a scarcity mindset, or like a sense of greed, or like a sense of competition or combativeness, like I got to do this to him before he does this to me. If you find yourself in that space of bitterness or anger because of what you see happening to women around you, then that's what lets you know that Jezebel spirit is seeping into you. That's what lets you know that you're in the wrong circles. You're not around healthy and positive men, that you undoing the work. And that's the mistake that people make. And I done heard people who, like in business, I heard a real estate guy tell his audience, like, y'all got to choose who you're going to listen to. Like, you can't listen to me and then go listen to this guy in the finance world, because we have two totally different beliefs. So you're just undoing the work. And so it's a lot of women who I'll see put in the comments say, hey, Tony, I listen to you, but I also listen to the red pill and alpha, this male, this and that. And I'm like, you just undoing the work. All you doing is just confusing yourself. You getting this knowledge and then you getting that, and now you just stuck in the middle. But you telling yourself, oh, I'm learning from over. No, you're not. That's not how the mind works. The mind believes what it hears. And so you got to choose what type of messages you're going to let go in your ears. But if you listen to everything under the sun, a lot of that stuff going to make you angry. It's going to upset you. And then you're going to start to adapt a different spirit. And now when you sit down with your husband, your potential husband, you're going to be rude and nasty. You're going to be snappy. You're going to be crass. You're going to be cruel. You're going to be too short instead of that happy medium where you're not over talking, but you're not under talking either. You're having a normal, good back and forth tennis match conversation, and you're going to struggle. So, and also this Jezebel spirit is sexual. Quick to get into bed, quick to put something between your legs, or quick to put something in your mouth. And that's going to hurt you. A good man is willing to wait at least 6 months. And if he's an all the way good man, like if you're a Christian woman and you want an all the way Christian man, then that man willing to wait till marriage. And there may be other religions that wait till marriage as well. Even if he's not a virgin, if he sees you as his wife, that man will wait till marriage. Now, if just that pressure building up and he about to blow a gasket, and that can happen once a man that had, that release, it does start to build up. When I was away working for 2 weeks, I'd be talking to my wife and my body would be stimulated. And then when I left, I'd be on set filming, and I would have this pain, like right in my pelvic area, like right above my third leg. And then later, after it happened like 2 or 3 times, I was like, did this happen when I was doing my ab workout? And I'm like, no, because I do that all the time and that don't happen. What it was that pressure, that build up from getting that erection and then not having a release. And it was almost like kind of what we call blue balls. And so that is a real thing now. But as a man, a good man, he gonna wait on his woman. If that's his woman and she don't want to go there, he might try to pressure, he might talk about it. And then he got to be reminded about his walk with God, his commitment to God, his relationship with God, his blessing that he want to come in. He got to be talked to and talked off that ledge so that he could pray for the strength and do what he got to do outside of sleeping with a woman or sleeping with anything. And so you have to be mindful. If you're a woman, you got to be mindful of this spirit, these spirits. And I'm calling it a Jezebel spirit because the Bible is not being written right now. The Bible is not adding on to it. So we don't know, we don't have a name for this social media spirit and this greedy spirit. And it's just so many, and I see this with across the board, like women wanting the world, and it has nothing to do with love. Women wanting, like, it's women online who doing these extravagant weddings. The wedding has 10 photo shoots. It has 2-3 locations. It has a magazine. And it's like, listen, this is too much. Like, if you want to do that for you, then keep it off social media. But if you got to post every aspect on social media, you're doing it for social media. You're doing it for other people. If you put half that energy and effort into marriage counseling, into relationship coaching, you'll have the best relationship in the world. But there are women who are literally spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, but yet can barely get into one house, gonna get into one house, when the $100,000 that was spent on a wedding could have bought 4 homes in Alabama, could have bought 4 rental properties in Alabama or Mississippi or parts of Florida, Ohio. Literally will spend that type of money but not be able to match that same amount of money into an investment in a kid's college fund. Now, if you got the college fund, if you got the real estate portfolio, if you got the 401k, if you got the Roth IRA or the IRA, if you got all that stuff lit and it's lined up, and then you still got hundreds of thousands for a wedding, okay, cool. But if you spending $100,000 on a wedding and you ain't got that $100,000 for real estate, listen, I know you think it mean a lot, but that's just a spirit. It's a spirit of poverty. It's a spirit of suction. And what it's doing is it's going to create a spirit of contention, because men focus on the family. Men focus on money. A man care less about a wedding. Man care less about that. A man will marry you in the courthouse. Me and my wife got married in the courthouse. We got married in the courthouse, and we going on 16 years of marriage. So a lot of this, and I've been telling her, hey, let's have our wedding. Let's have our wedding. She's like, nah, it's cool. It's cool. Now, one day when I get an extra million, just that I got an extra million, meaning that I got the college fund, I got the retirement fund, I got the investment portfolio, and I got a cool extra million just sitting there, instead of buying cars or whatever, I'll spend that million on a wedding. One of the most beautiful weddings. I'll spend that million the right way. Make a million look like 2 or 3 million though. I'll do that when I get there. I ain't there. We got other things to focus on. So I want you to think about this and see, is this Jezebel spirit starting to seep in and take over? Am I too focused on money from a man shopping on me, a man catering to me, or am I willing to go through that period of budgeting, of sacrifice, of stacking up, of getting off social media, of stop comparing to other women who living a facade, who living a lie? I just saw a lady post about a woman she looked up to, and she went to book the woman for her event, her women's empowerment event, and the woman told her, I would love to do that, but I'm actually sleeping on my friend's couch right now. And she said the lady had just posted a designer bag and shoes post on social media, but literally was evicted out her place and sleeping on somebody's couch. And so it's so many women today that's getting caught up in comparison with what other women showing them, and then you wanting the same thing, and it's hindering and breaking down the relationship that you could be building for you and your man, for yourself and for your kids. You trying to take somebody highlight reel and make their highlight reel match your behind the scenes. You trying to make your behind the scenes look like they Instagram highlight reel, and it's destroying your relationship. Hey, this Tony Gaskins. Make sure you lock on in for this series. If you see somebody in their feelings, get them out their feelings. Listen, this coming from a place to help. This coming from a place to prepare. And I'm going to be doing this with women and doing this with men as well. It just, you can't do both in one video because it need direction. It need focus. So y'all understand that. Listen, the smoke go every way. We all got to get it. Make sure you locked in, subscribe to whatever. And also, don't forget, the courses are listed at 50% off on TonyGaskinsAcademy.com. God bless you. We'll talk soon.